Hello and welcome to my channel. You are the one where we talk all things law of assumption, and today I wanted to make this video on the difference between wanting and desiring something. These are two very different words. They both have very different meanings and they are both going to get you a completely different experience based on which one you're using. And that's what we're talking about today, so stick around. My name is Hedley Derenzie. I'm a qualified life coach, I'm an author, and I'm super passionate about the amazing teachings of the law of assumption as originally taught by the great American mystic Neville Goddard. It is the stories that we tell that create our life. So if you want to change any part of your life, then it helps to know how to change the story first. And if you'd like to create the most amazing life, it helps to know how to tell the most amazing stories. And that's where these teachings can help, and that is why I am here. I want to help you to tell the most amazing stories that you can possibly imagine for yourself. If you would like support with this, I'm available for coaching. I have online coaching and personal coaching, and I also have a free 21-day Set Yourself Up with the Ultimate Self-Concept course, which is the ultimate story that you want to be telling as the foundation for everything else that happens in your life. All of that is available right now. You'll find the details in the box below or at my website, youaretheone.com.au. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, today we are talking about something that I feel is really important when it comes to manifesting, and that is wanting versus desiring. Language is super powerful. As many of you know, I love etymology, which is the study of language. It's where words come from. Now, what happens to words over time is their meanings get diluted and they start to mean something else. But language is extraordinarily powerful because they will point our consciousness in the direction of where we are to direct our awareness. So if we're using language incorrectly or unconsciously, we will be unwittingly directing our awareness towards things that we don't necessarily want. You know, and it's all very innocent. We're not intending to do that, but words are super, super powerful. Language is powerful. It is not the answer. Language is not the answer. The words that I'm speaking are not the answer. They are simply the signpost guiding you towards the answer. And the answer, of course, is always in your wonderful human imagination, as Neville would say. Now, the word want, we use this a lot, and I use this all through my videos. The life coach, it's a question, it's a word that you use a lot with people, like, what do you want? And we have become a little bit, myself included, we have become a little bit unconscious to how we are using this word, because the word is not perhaps what you think it means. So I'm going to go into what the history of the word is. But we want to be looking at the way we use this word when we are talking about the things that we would like to bring into our reality. Because as long as you are wanting something, as long as you are talking about what you want, you are going to get more of the not having of whatever it is that you're talking about when we talk about want. So let's get clear on what this word really means according to the original definition of this word. This is the history, goes all the way back to the 12th century. Literally means to be lacking. From Old Norse, banta, to lack, want. So the original definition of this word literally means lack. When you say, what do you want? What you're asking is, what do you lack? When you say, I want this, what you're really saying is, I lack this. And as long as you're using that language, remember, consciousness follows the instructions that you give it. So if you, and it is very impersonal, it is very objective. It will respond according to whatever instructions you give it. It doesn't have an opinion. To say, I want something, you are literally saying, I don't have it. And your reality has to reflect back exactly the story and assumption that you're holding in consciousness, which is that you do not have it. Look, I use the word want a lot. I have used it, but I am now becoming more conscious of when I use it and how I use it and the questions that I ask. So rather than asking yourself, what is it that I want, which you're really asking, what is it that I lack? And that can help you get towards what it is that you'd like to manifest. But another good question is, what do you desire? What do you desire? Now, that word has a very different energy to the word want. When you say I want, there's a feeling of lack. I mean, I can feel it just saying it. When you say, what do you desire, or what do I desire, there's a very different energy about that question and within that word. And the reason is it has a different history. So let's go to the word desire. To wish or long for, to express a wish to obtain. Also, if you look at the Latin definition, long for, wish for, demand, expect.
There is an element of expectation in desire. So we're not lacking, we're expecting. And I love what it says down here, await what the stars will bring from the stars. In other words, from imagination.
Now, there is a lot more potential in the word desire than there is in want. So I would suggest that rather than using the word want, first of all, become really conscious of where you are using the word want, because you are literally saying you are lacking. When you say I want or what do you want, you're talking about lack. So as long as you're wanting, you're going to get more of the not having, meaning the lack. Now, the word desire has a very different blueprint. It has a very different energy. It implies the obtaining of what it is that you desire. What do you desire? What is it that wants to come up and be manifested through you? So when we talk about God's will, imagine, which is really just imagination's will is desire. Whatever you are desiring to experience, that is God's will, that is imagination's will. Just play around with it and see how it works for you. Rather than asking yourself, what do I want? Ask yourself, what do I desire? Or even better, what am I desiring? Because the I am statement is so powerful. So what I am desiring, what is God desiring to be manifested through me? You're really tapping into a very different energy, a very different vibration. I don't really use that word, but you're shifting from a state of lack into a state of possibility, into a state of potential, into a state of excitement. And it's a very different energy from which to create. And so I would say, have a go, play with it. What is it that you desire? And then when you're talking to people about what it is that you want, replace that with what is it that you desire. So when you're talking about, I'm desiring of a home like this, or I'm desiring a person with these sorts of qualities. I'm desiring this sort of car. I'm desiring this sort of career. Just play with replacing the word want with the word desire, because of course there are things that we would like to be in our reality that are not in our reality. So we need a word that we can use when we are in that moment of not quite having what it is that we want to bring in. But that's where language is really important. That's where it's super powerful. And the word want is taking you down a path that you don't want, which is the more of not having what you want, or in other words, desire. See how it feels. Does it work for you? If you love the word want and you want to stick with it, go for it. You're the one who decides rather than the history of a word. It does make things easier when we're using words and language that support what it is that we're trying to do, which is manifest new realities and new experiences into this physical experience, because that is why we are here. That is why we have incarnated in physical form with these five senses, so that we could experience ourselves with our five senses. And of course, if you want to have what it is that you don't yet have in reality, go into your imagination, engage your five senses in imagination. So that's all I had to share. I hope you found that useful. As always, please remember that you are the amazing and powerful creators of your reality. You are the superstar of your show. You are the producer, the writer, the director, and the actor in your movie. What you assume to be true will be so. So assume the best for you, assume the best for everyone in your movie too, and you will have an amazing life. And this is my wish, my vision, and my prayer for you. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, comment, and share this video. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would love to have you, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.